The unicorn setup consists of two main concepts, the breaker block and the fair value gap. Now, for those who might not fully understand what they are, let's go over each one step by step. A breaker block consists of a low, a lower low, and then a higher high for a bullish breaker. And for a bearish breaker, it's the opposite, a high, a higher high, and then a lower low. The candle that forms at these two swing points is what we refer to as our breaker block. Now that you understand what a breaker block is, let's move on to the fair value gap. This gap, the space between the first candle and the third candle, is what's known as a fair value gap. They can appear in different variations, but as long as there's a clear gap between the first and third candle, that area is considered a fair value gap. Now let's talk about how both concepts come together to form what we call the unicorn setup. This setup is simply the combination of the breaker block and the fair value gap. When the two overlap each other, they create an area of high value. In this example, you can see a low, a lower low, and a higher high, which makes this candle our breaker block. Now, the unicorn model forms when price creates a fair value gap inside that breaker block. That now makes that area a high value zone. Because when those two powerful concepts overlap, there's a very high probability that when price returns to that area, it will most likely hold and push price to the upside in this example. Now, that doesn't mean you should go to the chart and start trading every single unicorn setup you see. For it to be a high probability unicorn model, it must also have a higher time frame narrative backing it up. So for instance, if this setup forms inside a higher time frame point of interest, and then you see a unicorn model forming on a lower time frame, that combination gives you a very high probability that the trade will most likely play out successfully.